Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. It depends on where you're at, really. Not where you're from, it's where you're at. I'm exhausted. I don't know that I'll be able to read the cue cards today. Does anybody in the audience have any methamphetamines? I would gladly appreciate it. Crank, methamphetamine, speed, coffee. You know, I'm 60 years old. I've never had a coffee, but I think I want to try one today. Craving your body, is this real? Temperature's rising, I don't wanna feel I'm in the wrong place to be real. Oh, this is Earth, Wind, and Fire, Reason, one of my favorite songs of all time, dedicated to Rev. Please let me love you with all my mind. Reasons, the reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear our feelings won't disappear. And after the love phase has been played, all our illusions were just a charade, and all our reasons start to fade. You sing this to a girl's ear, you get la 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 la. You have to do a better job than I'm doing. I got 4 girls at the other table looking like a snack. After all the reasons why, all our reasons were a lie. First heard this song in like 1977. Baby, can you imagine a song being written like this today? Check out Shorty, check it out. Not for you, girl. This is for Rev. In a strictly plutonic fashion. Everybody at home, I want you to go get a loved one and snuggle up on the couch. Today is the Boogie Bob Love Show. And we're gonna just chill and make love all night long. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear our feelings won't disappear. And you know what? And after the love games have been made, all our illusions were just a parade, and all our How many of you have thrown up yet? Tammany, have you thrown up yet? The reasons have no pride. After all the reasons why. We're just gonna do the news. I just wanted to give you some reasons. I didn't lick my lip on it. pretty bad when you have trouble eating M&M's. I can't find the reason. Guys, I've been struggling. I've been having a very, very, very rough time. Remember the day I took you to the cranes? I got a heat stroke. It was 145 degrees out that day. So yesterday, I did my live. I couldn't do the news. I think I've only done the news twice in the last month. I actually forced myself to come out today because I can't just lay there every day. I go to work, I come home, I lay down. I'm doing the news today. And I want to force myself to get out of this rut that I'm in. I've been having a very rough time. Yesterday I did the live. I thought, wow, I did the live. I was proud of myself. And then I got home, I couldn't walk. Until just now. I literally laid there all night long. I got up to take a shower, and it was the worst struggle ever. So, with that said, I'm going to try to do the news. Have a good time. And address some of the things I've missed out on the last few weeks. One, huge shout out to Rob H. and his dog Norman. His dog Norman had a birthday. Who's a good boy? Norman's a good boy. Happy birthday, Norman. Look at that beautiful dog. Today, I've dedicated the entire show to our dear friend Tammany. Tammany is like the mom of the channel. She is there for everyone. She is kind and nice, and she has done so much for me and for everyone in this group. Tammany, you are a very special person, and I send my prayers and my love to you, and I thank you for being engaging and kind and good. And that's what, when I made this channel, it wasn't just about bad shorties. It was about bad shorties, but not just about bad shorties. It was about trying to spread kindness and love, and sometimes I get lost along the way. We all have our own battles and our own demons, and I've been battling. So if I'm not there for someone, I apologize. I'm trying my best. Tammany, I really think you're an amazing person, and I appreciate you so much. David Young, I hope that you are doing better. You're very well liked in this channel. Everybody except RJ loves you. I don't know why RJ hates you so much, but I don't know. Ever since RJ got out of prison, he hasn't been the same. RJ, you be nice to David Young. Karina too. I don't know why. Karina called me yesterday. She said, Bob, I really enjoy the show, but I hate David Young. I was like, Karina, that's uncalled for. I don't get it. I don't understand the issue here. I love David Young. And Karina. Shall we start the news? Today is a very sad day in America. Whether you like him or don't like him, Donald Trump has been indicted for the third time. They are actually arresting him, you know, as much as you arrest somebody. Go to court, see a lawyer, bring your lawyer, see the judge. Today at 4. I hope that there's no violence, and I hope that nobody takes real glee in this. I'm not a fan of the man, but I am a fan of America and the Constitution, and I want to get back to at least a semblance of the law, whether it's with him or without him. So I do not take privilege and glee in the fact that anyone is going to go to jail, but I do believe in taking accountability. And meanwhile, when one of the craziest things in the history of our country is happening, here's the thing about Joe Biden. It's a letter of the lie. It's a letter that Joe Biden, this is the Post. Every newspaper in the world has Trump on the cover with the indictment, but this is about Joe Biden. He told a lie. Joe denies that he talked to a foreign businessman. If Joe Biden did these crimes, then he should be arrested too. How about that? The city of New York doesn't have any money. Well, kind of. There's the mayor. Been on my show 3 times. There's the mayor. There's his brand new $400,000 SUV. $386,000. I don't think P. Diddy spent that much on his SUV. It's gotta be bulletproof or something. Mayor Adams exits one of his city-owned SUVs this week. There have been charges filed in the manic Midtown chase. A 20-year-old man. When you're 20 and you do stuff like this, bro, you think your world is over. I was facing 400 years in prison when I was 21. You can get through it and do better and bigger and better things. A 20-year-old man was hit with a slew of charges Wednesday after crashing a stolen car into multiple vehicles. Now, I saw one online this morning. It was in a green car in Brooklyn. I'm wondering if this is the guy. It says Midtown. Kyle Fernandez is facing charges of reckless endangerment, possession of stolen property, operating a motor vehicle while on drugs, resisting arrest in connection with Tuesday's mayhem when a Good Samaritans tackled him. Oh, I saw that video as well. Maybe Classic J Live sent it to me. He sends me a lot of great videos. A guy's running down the street and all of a sudden a bunch of New Yorkers tackle the guy. He was fighting. He got rid of like 2 or 3 of them, and then they finally jumped on him. You get 3 or 4 people. I don't care if you're Mike Tyson. 3 or 4 people jump on you, it's over. The madness unfolded during the evening rush on Lexington Avenue and 42nd Street. I was just there yesterday. After they tried to pull over a maroon Hyundai Tucson that had been reported stolen from the Bronx. The Hyundai, I hope I'm saying that right, Hyundai crashed into a bicyclist in a yellow cab and then jumped into a curb and plowed into a group of pedestrians while trying to make a U-turn. The vehicle then headed the wrong way on Lexington and slammed head-on into a black SUV. As the young man was being pulled from the car, Kevin Spacey showed up and grabbed him on the crotch. I don't even know why Kevin Spacey would do that after just getting cleared of all charges. He's now gonna, Miguel, can you believe this? This is crazy. The young man crashes the car all over Midtown, and then Kevin Spacey shows up and grabs the guy's balls? That's crazy. You better stop it, Brooklyn. Brooklyn has donated in remembrance of the Happy Tammy Appreciation Day. I think everybody should clap and put little roses or hearts up if you love Tammany. If you don't put a red rose up right now or a heart, that means you hate Tammany's guts. Now, I'm looking. Ambrose didn't put a rose. Ambrose, why do you hate Tammany? What did she do to you? Look at Rev likes Tammany. Look at all those hearts. Treaton does not like Tammany at all. There's no hearts. Paul Greenwell? What did Tammany do? Ambrose says he don't want to wear no ribbon. This ain't Nazi Germany. Rev, look at all those hearts, and look at Treaton. Treaton dropping hearts all over the place. It appears that Treaton loves Tammany more than Ambrose does. And David Young, look, David Young loves Tammany. David Young's great. If I do a remote show from California, David Young's going to be on my show. All right, here we go. You guys don't mind if I don't do a lot of the Trump, Hunter Biden stuff today. I don't care. Did you guys, yesterday I was so exhausted. My friend is in town in Ishika. I had to meet her in Chinatown. Walked around there, I don't know how many hours, helping her friend get a watch. Then I had to go to work, Hard Rock Hotel. And then I got a new camera from my business partner. I'm going to be testing it out today. And I think it's going to be pretty cool. Give me 1 second, guys. So I decided yesterday, it's probably a mistake, to walk over to the Roosevelt Hotel because it had been on the news for several days about the migrants. It was really sad. There was hundreds of them lined up trying to get a room. I'm thinking what happened was that Arjan's in the house. Hi, Arjan. Arjan's drinking Starbucks. Arjan loves his Starbucks. Everybody say hi to Arjan. So yesterday I went to see the migrants. Very sad. You think they get off the bus and they walk right into the hotel? No, they're out there for 3 or 4 days trying to find a room. New York is out of rooms. And then I got home last night and I just had, it was the worst night I've had in a long time. Have you guys been hearing about these manatees? A manatee is this big ass sea. It looks like a walrus without the tusk. The gentle giants of the rivers. Well, these manatees are huge. I don't know if this is the same story, but a famous manatee just died the other day when his brother, or her brother, had sex with him for 6 hours. And it ripped I guess they're very aggressive. It ripped some kind of something. A Florida Sheriff's Department is teaching locals about the birds and the bees and the manatees. Emergency calls reporting manatees clumped together, mating. They're having orgies. Manatees ain't even got like no arms or legs, but they in there getting more action than your old pal Boogie Bob. If you see this, no you didn't. It's captioned on Facebook Reel. Putting Marvin Gaye, let's get it on. As a bunch of manatees have group sex. These manatees are pretty freaky. He's a very freaky manatee. The kind you don't take home to mother. Bronx cops killed in dad slay suicide. Did you hear about this? He's a cop. I believe the dad killed him and then killed himself. A 26-year-old off-duty NYPD officer was shot in the head by his own father. By the way, Marvin Gaye, one of the greatest treasures in American history, one of the greatest treasures to the world, was also shot and killed by his own father. The cop was shot by his dad, and then the dad turned the gun on himself in a deadly family feud. Where at, Joe? In the Bronx? Yes, in the Bronx. The officer was asleep in his dad's Soundview apartment when the older man, I'm assuming the dad was the older of the two. That would be weird if he wasn't. The older man shot him around 12:45 p.m. That's the time. Let the man take a nap. Can't you let the man take a nap? The dad shot himself in the head in another room. The dad was like, listen guys, I don't want no one to kill themselves. Rev, can you put up the suicide hotline that we have? If you are going to kill yourself, please don't hurt someone else. Don't kill yourself. Don't hurt yourself. If you choose to ignore that and you're going to do it anyways, please don't kill other people. It's not right. 4 die in New Jersey cigarette inferno. Don't smoke. There's gonna be a Boogie Bob show about don't do this and don't do that. But I did for years on my Facebook. I had the Bob Bowen Stop Smoking Challenge because I love you, and I would give $20 to anybody who stopped smoking, or Subway sandwich gift cards. The problem, all my friends would say, "I quit," and then you give them the $20 and they go buy a pack of smokes. Guys, there's the number right there. It's a 988 number, or you can always go to 988lifeline.org, or you could always call me. You get inside my DMs and we will talk for as long as you like. That's a promise. No judgment. Guys, I remember when I was like 16 or 17, the love lines started coming out where you could call and talk to a girl and have phone sex with her. But you had to pay money. If you called from your phone number, it would just go on your phone bill. And I didn't have nothing like that, so I went to my friend's house one time and he left. He says, "Hey, I'm going to the store." I said, "You got it." He left. I called the number. And the lady started talking to me. I go, "Hey, hi, this is Margaret," whatever her name was. "What's your name?" I go, "My name's Bob." "Tony! My name's Tony." I didn't want to get caught. And guys, this was like 1982 or something. So I called it, and we started talking. And she goes, "What did you want me to do, Tony?" I go, "Well, you're in a room." "Yes." And I go, "I take off your bra." "Ooh, yes, Tony." "And there's another girl there." "Oh, Tony, I'm not into that. You're gross." And she hung up on me. You know how hard it is to have your little young fantasies thrown up? I'm not into that. You're a sex line worker if there was another girl in the room? She scarred me for years. And then we start kissing. "Ooh, Tony, you're gross. That's horrible." Then I became an ordained minister, and I do no longer like women at all. 4 members of a family. Oh my God, I hate to hear that. 4 members of a family, including a 4-month-old baby and a teenage girl, were killed after a grandmother was injured after a fire started by a discarded cigarette engulfed their New Jersey home. My father had the house burned down around him when I was in 3rd grade. So I have, and he lived cooking beans and fell asleep. The whole house burnt down around him. He was almost killed by the smoke inhalation. A kid came to my school when I was getting off. "Bobby, your dad died." So I have a very, very horrible thing in me that checks the stove 5 times a night to make sure the gas isn't on, to make sure that someone in my building isn't going to burn it down around me. Please, guys, be very, very careful about any cigarettes or smoking or candles. Candles are really bad as well. Howard Hughes, the richest man in the world at one time. Man, he was a piece of work. Howard Hughes spiraled in a great movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. It's called The Aviator. If you want to check it out, it's old. He was afraid of everything: germs, wind. Even the wind had germs in it. He died a recluse. One of the richest men on earth died a recluse in a house where he would even put his urine in cups and take a poop in bags because he just was a germaphobe. He had just he spiraled into a horrible, horrible, nightmarish life. The Los Angeles home of the famous reclusive billionaire Howard Hughes is up for sale for $23 million. It's a 1920 Spanish colonial on an 8-hole. I don't even know what that means. Now, touching your body, is it real? Temperature's rising. I don't know what happened to my My gimbal just took a poop on me. Battery's good. Might have to go with another gimbal. I'm too tired to fight about it. I don't care. Bria called. Trying to make plans. I'm too tired. Girl, you're going to get me in trouble. Brooklyn DA, District Attorney, says he will fight bigotry in his office. You better walk it, girl. A Brooklyn District Attorney, Eric Gonzalez, vowed Wednesday to probe anti-Semitism in his office. Anybody in my company, anybody. I'm a very nice guy. It's hard to get fired from my company because I don't want to ever put someone out of work. Anybody in my company makes a racial slur, a homophobic jab, judges somebody about their size or where they're from, is terminated instantly. There's no coming back from that. And I do it myself. I don't fire anybody. I do that myself. Hi, Steve. Hey, Bob. Yeah, did you call so-and-so the F word today? Yeah, Bob, I was just upset. You're fired. One thing I said when I started my company, there will be no people being unkind. You can be grouchy, you can bump heads, you're in a small room together, that happens. I'll move you somewhere else where you're by yourself or something, but you say anything disparaging, anti-Semitic, racist, homophobic, you were terminated on the spot. Guess what? Bob, you're my friend stuff doesn't work when you do that. You cross the line, I can stop it. Have you guys heard about this? This is a horrible, horrible human being. That's Robert Chambers. Look at him now. Got out looking like Whitey Bulger. Robert Chambers was a dashingly handsome young kid in New York City. He killed a girl in Central Park. Strangled her. He was, turns out he was just a con man, and, she was a young socialite. These were rich kids from the Upper East Side, Central Park, with maids and butlers and chauffeurs. Went to Central Park, and he allegedly had sex. Well, not allegedly, he got caught for it. Had sex with her, killed her, threw her in the pond, and she died. And there's still the tree. This tree is still in Central Park. Anyways, he got out of jail for that murder years ago, decades ago, and then got arrested for drugs and heroin and this and that. Well, he's out again. Infamous, he was called the Preppy Killer. Well, Ambrose, you're right. He was rich boy preppy killer. It turns out he wasn't. His mom was a maid, worked as a waitress or something. He dressed like them. He hung in those circles, but he was not from where they're from. The infamous preppy killer Robert Chambers was spotted out and about in New York Wednesday afternoon. He appeared to be wearing a wedding band. Chambers, who was nabbed in the vicious 1986 strangling of an 18-year-old Jennifer Levin in Central Park, was released from prison last week after serving 15 years on a separate drug charge. He's been in and out 10 or 20 times. He even got in trouble in prison. The 56-year-old wore a pair of sunglasses and a denim jacket over a white t-shirt as he talked on the phone. Well, I believe in redemption and second chances, and if this guy can turn it around, and I'd be very surprised if he doesn't go back. He was a habitual criminal in and out. I'm exhausted. This could be the most tired I've been in months. I'm going to go to the grocery store after this. It's right over there and get some groceries. I promise to try to do the news more. I've only been doing it maybe once a week. I've just been too sick. Donald Trump's not looking so good. The knock on Biden's 80, whatever. Donald Trump is only a year younger, a year and a half younger than Biden. I don't know how they do it. I don't know where because they have to go. They're on planes, and then they're on tarmacs, and then they're in meetings, and I can't even, I don't get it. I'm 27 years old, and I don't get it. By the way, just for the record, a lot of people, 70% of the Republicans believe he's innocent. They also believe the election was stolen. This 45-page indictment, every single witness that has come forward is from his staff, and every single one of the, 30 witnesses in the 45-page indictment, every single one is a Republican who was a member of his staff or in his inner circle. Not one, and the whole 45-page indictment was a Democrat. So when you say, oh, it's Biden and his Justice Department, it's 37 of his inner circle who don't want to go to prison testifying. They flipped. Mike Pence, the vice president who was almost killed, hang Mike Pence, is now finally taking his balls out of his chin and saying that President Trump was to blame. He was wrong. Former Vice President Mike Pence laid into by the way, Donald Trump is at like 60% in the Republican Party. Mike Pence is at 1%. He's not going to win. Trumpers hate his guts and non-Trumpers hate his guts. I don't know why Mike Pence is running, other than to maybe get money or to, whether you like him or don't like him. Mike Pence did the right thing by all legal standpoints by not trying to overturn the election, because he didn't have the grounds to. You can't just make up rules. Mike Pence did the right thing, went by the Constitution, and was almost murdered for it. And now he's finally speaking out, but that's neither here nor there. What's here is this guy, Rex. This is Rex Heuermann. I call him Rex Heuermann. He's the creep who killed the women. He has six murder charges against him. This is the Long Island guy from Gilboa Beach. Doesn't Gilboa Beach sound like something from Lord of the Rings? Sire, we must find the ring. Ask Gilboa Beach if he has it. The estranged wife of Gilboa Beach murder suspect Rex Heuermann has been in touch with her husband since his bombshell arrest. She did file for divorce, and it is said that the children, he has a daughter and a son, grown adults, are crying. Could you imagine? You love your dad your whole life, and then you find out he's this horrific murderer, and the world hates him and you. Could you imagine what these poor kids are going through? I am empathetic and sad towards their plight. Empathy for Gilgo's wife, the daughter of the happy-faced killer who terrorized the U.S. 3 decades ago, has launched a fundraiser to help the estranged wife of the Gilboa Beach. I do not hold, if the wife didn't know and the kids didn't know and it looks like they didn't, I hold them no ill will. How can you be mad at them? Here it is. I brought you this yesterday. I'm on the cutting edge. Here's the African guys I showed you yesterday. These ones were at Roosevelt. Typically when you see the migrants come to New York, almost always they're from Latin America. Guatemala. Is there any other Latin American town? That's it. That's the only one. Guatemala. Hi Roberto, how are you? El Salvador, Mexico, wherever. These happened to be yesterday. Were all from, it appeared to be Senegal.
Hello, Chavo.
And
Remember Marquito?
look at this.
Marquito is social now. You know what I find out? He was in pain. I didn't know what it was. Oh. Yeah, there was something that he had, and the doctor removed it.
What was it?
It was like a what we call it. It was an accent that he had.
He had an accent?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we didn't know.
Yeah.
And then whenever people touch him, he was like, "Don't leave me alone." You know?
Wow, poor guy.
Yeah.
This dog is massive.
Well, I'm glad they fixed it.
Yeah, he did. I mean, it's been good now. It's back to normal.
How long do you think you might have had it? It happens.
After all the reasons why. Beautiful dog. Monster. Cute. Look at our horse. The dog has a man bun. These immigrants or migrants. Excuse me while I eat my peanut. I'm gonna try to do it looking handsome.
So people can charge their phones and their computers.
Does it work? No. I'm so tired it hurts to chew. I took it yesterday. It was a dumb idea. When I got back from Chinatown, I was so tired I could barely walk. I went up to the rooftop at the Hard Rock Hotel. Set my girl up, smoothed with the managers, made sure we were all set, worked. Then I went downstairs. I actually started my live yesterday from inside the Hard Rock Hotel lobby, sitting in a chair, just relaxing. Because I said, I gotta walk home. It's only a couple blocks, but I don't want to do it. And then I was actually showing the new camera. My business partner bought me this camera. $500. I can't afford it. But it's the brand new Insta 360. What a 360 does is it has a lens on the front and on the back. So when you put this on a selfie stick, this camera and this camera take pictures of everything. If somebody was right there, you don't have to film them like this. You can film it like this or this or this. It doesn't matter. It's going to get the whole 360. It gets everything, from me to the roof to my shoes. This right now can see every single thing. The camera will go up, down, around, and this side does it, and then it stitches together. They're very expensive, but I'm going to be able to walk through Times Square with it on a selfie stick over my shoulder. And it will look like, because it erases the selfie stick, it'll look like it's a drone following me. It's going to be amazing. So I was looking at the camera yesterday. If I'm not too tired, I can't go anywhere today. I can't walk. But I'm going to try to do a test shot, and then I'll upload it tonight. But it's going to be really cool, super cool. And I decided I wanted to go see if there's anything to this whole migrant story at Roosevelt Hotel. And I saw on my Instagram that my friend O, Big O from Times Square, along with Rob, the Naked Cowboy, was out there. I go, where the hell are they? In this Roosevelt Hotel. I thought, oh, that must be in Times Square. That's where Rob works, Times Square. Well, it wasn't. It was on 45th and like Madison. So it was about a 12 or 15 minute walk. It took me about an hour to get there because I'm walking like an elderly old man, like I am. And I got there and I was heartbroken. See all these beautiful African people sitting on concrete, laying on concrete. I heard they had been there 3 or 4 days. Nowhere to go. Single male migrants. No women. I don't remember there being any women yesterday. Sleep out in the open outside the Roosevelt Hotel Intake Center in Midtown Manhattan, waiting for days to be let inside for processing. They end up exhausted, and then during the day they have to stand or sit in the hot weather. That's everything I said yesterday when I filmed them. I told you, I said, can you imagine sitting or standing here for 12, 24 hours on the concrete, just sitting here, hoping, praying that you'll get to go? Despite migrants sleeping on the streets of the city in stark warnings that the state is out of shelter space. New York remains the most requested destination for migrants who just crossed the border, according to Texas charity workers. They're going to send them here, and I am going to hug every one of them if that's be the case. I want them all to have a life. They're leaving the Sudan or wherever they're at. Guys, let's take Haiti, for instance. When I owned the China Club bathrooms in Kochek for 18 years, the backbone of my business was my Haitians. And the Haitians, I befriended them all. I had 100 of them working for me. I didn't know. You hear Haiti, you think, oh, it's our neighbor, our buddy. In Haiti, some of them make $3 or $4 a day in the poorest part of Haiti. Work their ass off to the bone. And they would come over and work for me and make $300, $400 a night. They would send almost their whole check back to Haiti. And they were local heroes because they could support a whole couple families. Can you imagine making $3 a day and you got to eat and pay your rent and your health? And anyways, he would come over here and they would, several of them still are my dear friends. And so Africa, I don't know how many guys from Nigeria and the Sudan that have worked for me, the Ivory Coast, and they take their money. Many of them, 20 of them, could live in an apartment here. That way they could pay the rent, because you can't afford a damn apartment here. Live in the Bronx or Brooklyn or way up in Harlem, way up, and then they work their asses off 7 days a week and send the money back home. So these people are not coming here to play Nintendo, coming here for a better life, and I hope that they find it. I had a really bad heartache yesterday after seeing them there sitting in the sun. How do you think, how long was this guy sitting there? This guy has a damn pizza box on his head as shelter. He's got a towel on his head. He's got a shirt on his head. Can you imagine just sitting there? I just want to go by and help, but I don't have any money, and I have about 40 umbrellas at my house right now, and I have about 300 jackets, but I don't think a jacket would help anybody. Every single one of them has newspapers and towels and shirts on their head because they're sitting there for 4 days. I ask you if you could at this time to say a little prayer for all the people less fortunate who are trying to find a better life. These are not immigrants. These are migrants who are coming here, migrating to America. They were shipped here from Texas or wherever they were shipped. Vampire killer in sorry end. A Missouri death row inmate who claimed to be a vampire told the family of the 6-year-old girl he abducted and killed that he was sorry. Well, that made it all better. Oh my God, is my baby in here? Look at that. Look at my baby right there, guys. Bria. It gives me life. It makes me happy. Look at that. Look at how beautiful. Stunning. Look at how stunning and beautiful she is. And she's got a great sense of humor. She's a great mom. I told her the other day she was the worst girlfriend ever. And she said I was the worst boyfriend ever. No, she's great. Look at this. How beautiful, how stunning and beautiful is Bria. She's great. I'm glad she's in here. I told her today I'm going to try to do my news. I haven't been able to do my news, guys. I've been exhausted. And today is the day where I'm by the way, this might be my worst show I've ever done. I'm 40 minutes in. I'm not even anywhere near. It might be a 4-hour show today. All right. Hi, Bria. A Missouri death row inmate who claimed to be a vampire told the family of the 6-year-old girl he abducted and killed that he was sorry as they watched him being put to death. Oh, that family showed up. They were like, yo, we're going to watch him be killed. Johnny Johnson Well, that's part of the problem. The guy's name is Johnny Johnson. 45 lured little Casey Williamson to an abandoned glass factory, even carrying her on his shoulders before killing her with a brick and a large rock back in 2002. This family had to put up with this for 20 years on death row. Guy was probably living better than most of us. He received a lethal dose of phenobarbital. I would have been clapping. God bless. Sorry to the people and family I hurt. And then Kevin Spacey showed up. I don't know why Kevin Spacey would. Eerie deaths. Similar Brooklyn drowns haunt dad. Here's the poor guy. The last footage of him getting on the train. Guys, a lot of you don't know that Manhattan is an island. We got Brooklyn, Queens, and all these other Staten Island all around us. There's a lot of bodies of water here in New York, and people mysteriously end up in that water drowned. Here's a ballsy move. A Lufthansa pilot allegedly upset over being forced to divert his flight from Sicily, flew the plane in a penis-shaped pattern before landing. A pilot on a flight from Lufthansa. Lufthansa is one of those airlines. He was so upset that he was forced to divert his flight from Sicily, flew the plane in a penis-shaped pattern. Flight 306 took off from Frankfurt, Germany on Friday. It was bound for Sicily, and until the plane was warned mid-flight that it could not land at the Fontanarossa airport, which was seeing reduced operations following a fire. While those adjustments and movements appear to create a vulgar outline, there's no intent by the pilot to do so, said his lawyer. The poor guy that follows him on the computer says, "What's he doing?" "Oh, he's drawing a penis with his plane." If he would have drew my penis, it would have been a very small. Did you hear about the vegan celebrity on TikTok? God bless her. But just because they're on TikTok, guys, doesn't mean they know what they're doing. She's a vegan. She's an influencer, and she is now dead. The mother of the vegan influencer, her name was Jana Samsova, died of starvation and exhaustion. I think I'm dying of starvation and exhaustion. I just can't. Look, this is. I can't do anything. After subsisting exclusively on raw fruits and vegetables, claimed that she battled hard to save her daughter. The mother said of the girl that died, but to no avail. "I fought for many years. She did not listen," the 63-year-old mother lamented in an interview. She chose this path. Her 39-year-old daughter, better known as Zana D'Art, to millions of social media followers. Millions! You know how hard that is? Died July 21st in Malaysia hospital after traveling across Asia for 17 years. She's a nomad. She just traveling. Several weeks before her death, she had shared an Instagram selfie with a chilling message: "Life is meaningless, but worth living." I don't think life is meaningless. I think life is what you make it. If you can touch other people, and we're all here for a purpose. Some is to be Jay-Z, and some is to be a janitor at a porno house. That's not what it's about. It's about what you do with your life. I have thought mine is meaningless many times. But then I get a letter like this: "Boogie Bob, every day I watch your show, and I fantasize about being with you. Signed, RJ." RJ, thank you, man. That's very kind of you. Very kind. Do nothing guard at LA Gucci heist. Oh boy. Got a guard at the LA Gucci store. He did nothing. Brazen bandits sprinted out. Did you see the video? It's insane. There's about 20 of them. Sprinted out of the Gucci store in Los Angeles with thousands of dollars worth of luxury items. First of all, one item is thousands of dollars, so I don't know what they're talking about. As a security guard walked helplessly behind them. What is he supposed to do? Kill him? He'd probably get fired if he tackled one of them. In a crime caught on video, 9 men wearing hoodies dashed out the West swanky store of Westfield Century City Mall at about 3 p.m. Monday, carrying pricey bags and suitcases as onlookers recorded them on their phone. In one video, an apparent store employee wearing a suit called 911 and makes a feeble attempt to grab one of the thieves. You are going to get murdered for a Gucci purse that you don't own, my friend. Let them go. A seemingly nonchalant security guard in uniform follows the gang out the door slowly. See him just shuffling behind them. Hey, stop, guys. Now hold it right there, guys. Put that back. You better put it back or I'm going to point my flashlight at you. He's a guard. What's he supposed to do? He can't do nothing. The thieves drove off in a white SUV and a red Kia. It's unclear if any arrests have been made, but they took more than $900,000 in jewelry in the grab. And I promise you, every one of them douchebags is on Instagram today. Go, hey, what's up, y'all? Check out my new Gucci bag and my new pendant. I promise you, they'll be arrested by the end of the week because they can't help themselves. You guys, I don't want you to steal, but if you do, but if you do, don't put it on your Instagram. Guys, I got Gucci bags, real Gucci bags for sale. Oh boy. Anybody out here got a foot fetish? Besides RJ. Anybody besides RJ got a foot fetish? A man who allegedly broke into a Nevada resort on 2 separate occasions to cradle women's feet as the victim slept is now in custody. Cradle her feet. Poor girl sleeping and she feels somebody giving her a foot massage. She's like, oh, hi, ma'am. I work for the hotel. This is a customary foot job. I'm glad that he's a sick man, but I'm glad that he's not doing something worse. He is now in custody. Mark Anthony Gonzalez, 26 years old, accused of being the infamous Lake Tahoe foot fondler. What are you in for? Murder? Killed a cop? What about you? Grand theft auto? Shot an old man? What about you? I fondled feet. I'm actually the foot fondler from Las Vegas. He getting raped in jail. That's the bottom line. He gonna be fondling a lot of feet. Bitch, get over here and massage my feet. He's the Lake Tahoe foot fondler. He was arrested Tuesday at his home in Atwater, California. My friend was born in Atwater. 2 women staying at the club in Wyndham South Shore Hotel awoke at 4:30 a.m. on a Sunday morning, respectively, over the July 4th weekend, to find this creep was fondling their feet. He was doing 2 at a time. He's pretty brazen. That's his idea of a threesome. A statement from the police read, Gonzalez is also suspected by law enforcement of trespassing and stealing women's shoes from California shoe stores while pleasuring himself. That boy got a foot fetish. My friend, I won't name her, my friend called me up. She said she had a bunch of stuff from Coat Check. She was asking could she put it on Craigslist. I said yeah. She puts it on Craigslist. She's very, very, very careful about everything. She put her phone number. Guy called up and was asking about the shoes. What size are they? It said right in the ad they were size 8 or something. 4-inch heels. He goes, can you send me pictures of the shoes? He sent it. He hit her back. Can you send me pictures with your foot in it? I want to see if it. She reluctantly did. Then he started calling it whacking off. Be careful what you do on that damn internet, folks. Beyonce. My ex just went to the Beyonce concert with my niece, said it was the greatest concert of all time. Beyonce paid her respects to a fan who was reportedly killed for voguing. Did you hear about this guy? He's in Brooklyn. He's a black young gay man. He's voguing. Come on, vogue. Let your body move to the... he was voguing, and he was killed by some Muslim guys who found an affront to their religion. He was killed at a gas station in Coney Island. All he was doing was dancing. Rest in power, O'Shea Sibley read the message from the pop star. Can you imagine? He would have lost his mind if he was alive to have Beyonce reach out. Sibley and 3 pals stopped at a mobile gas station to fill up their tank. When 2 of the men began dancing to a song from Beyonce's Renaissance album, another group confronted them and Sibley was stabbed to death. He was rushed to the hospital but did not survive. Sources say they're leading an anti-gay task force to catch these pieces of crap. No arrests have been made, but police are searching for an unnamed 17-year-old. I'm telling you right now, anybody who has a problem with someone dancing and using the problem as the guy's gay is gay themselves. Methinks thou protest too much. I promise you, he has deep-seated hatred towards himself. His dad probably, or mom probably told him he was a piece of crap because he had sexual feelings about men. So he projects it onto others as a hate crime. I have seen this a million times. I could be wrong. But I always think when I see these guys bashing gay guys, they're the ones sucking more dick than anybody. Excuse my language. Excuse me for being honest. You're gonna hate someone because of who they sleep with or what they wear or how they dance? You deserve to rot in hell. Did you hear about this? This is crazy. This is a huge oil tanker thing, and stowaways hid on this thing for 2 weeks. 2 weeks they hid on the front under. People are walking around up here. They can't look down and see them. For 2 weeks, these guys stowed away. For 2 weeks. I couldn't sit at this table for 2 weeks. To imagine being in the ocean sitting on a little triangle thing. 4 Nigerian stowaways were captured in gripping images on top of a cargo ship's rudder after they survived a 14-day journey during which they ran out of food and drink. They had to drink their own urine. The migrants who hoped to reach Europe were shocked to find they actually had arrived in Brazil. They didn't plan that out very well. After a 3,500-mile journey on a Liberian-flagged vessel, it was a terrible experience. Thank God, Opempo Matthew 38 told Reuters at a church shelter in São Paulo, Brazil. I pray that they are embraced by the people who rescued them. I was shaking and so scared. The 4 men who huddled in a tiny space above the giant rudder said they ran out of food on their 10th day and survived by drinking ocean water, which will kill you. Ocean water, salt water will kill you. And their own urine. 2 of the men have gone home. 2 went back home. While Yeli and Roman hope to stay. I pray the government of Brazil will have pity on me. I pray that God gives them a new home. Brazil cops killed 9 people in a raid. Police in Rio de Janeiro, boy, it's rough out there, bro, killed at least 9 people in a raid Wednesday in the latest example of deadly violence by Brazil security officials after 16 people died at the hands of São Paulo State Police. Extradite for faker fugitive. There he is. There's the faker fugitive. Nicholas Rossi, believed to be hiding in the UK. A suspected American rapist accused of faking his own death to live under a fake identity in Scotland can be extradited to the U.S. to face multiple sex charges. Nicholas Rossi, 35, has been long claimed to be in a wheelchair. The guy can walk fine. He gets a wheelchair as a hiding device. He's hiding out in a disguise in a wheelchair. I think that's a pretty stupid disguise. Irish, he's pretending to be an Irish orphan in a wheelchair named Arthur Knight, who has never been to the U.S., let alone committed any sex attacks. Hey, aren't you Nicholas Rossi from Jersey? No, mate. I am from Scotland. I am in wheelchair. How could I be? How could I be that guy? I'd be arrested in 2 minutes because I can't do an accent. I'm from Scotland, man. You sound like you're from UK. Come on. Aren't you Boogie Bob, the famous YouTuber? Nah, man. I am from Norway. I can't walk. I'm in a wheelchair. He even claimed that his tattoos, proving that he was Rossi. By the way, guys, if you're a convict, don't get tattoos. Does he have a dragon on his neck? Is that Boogie Bob? No, I don't think so. Let's see if he's got a tattoo. And they pull it and they got a tattoo. There he is. You're busted. Don't do it. He claimed that the tattoos proving he was Rossi had been inked while he was actually in a coma. This guy should run for office. Ruling for Rossi to be extradited. That guy's a moron. We got some heroes. Long Island Rescue Party saved a swimmer who was near death. Can you imagine you're out swimming, you're out fishing, and you see a guy floating around in the water? Jim Horshawn left and Michael Ross right. Meet Dan Ho. I know this is a popular name in Hawaii, but I don't want to have the last name as Ho. My friends would have ripped me apart if my last name was Ho. You Ho. The Long Island swimmer who was pulled out of the Atlantic Ocean after treading water for hours was reunited Wednesday with the 2 fishing pals who saved him, as they recalled thinking he barely had 30 minutes left to live. Jim Holhurst, 63, and Michael Ross, 69, were on their boat when they noticed a fishing pole with a shirt tied to it. Bro, you're out in the middle of the water and someone's out there swimming yelling, "Help, help!" You can't see him. This guy was smart enough to have a fishing pole with a shirt tied to it. There's a fishing pole with the shirt. He saved his own life. He helped save his own life. And they discovered Dan Ho floating helplessly. One of the fishermen said, "Your name's Dan Ho? F-O-H. If it hadn't been for that flag you were waving, we never would have spotted you. It saved your life." An exhausted Ho. I knew an exhausted Ho, but that was incoming. An exhausted Ho of Copiague was completely frozen and suffering from hypothermia when the pair pulled him out of the ocean. The longtime pals originally thought the shirt was a lobster flag, but felt something was off. They saw the flag going back and forth, but guys, it's a little dot. They thought it was a lobster flag. I think the ladies deserve to see the hair. They checked it out. They were surprised to find Ho barely alive. Now, I found a Ho barely alive, but that... We were just heading out. We were looking for bunker for bait. And that's when I spotted the lobster flag waving back and forth. But something was wrong. It wasn't moving like a lobster flag usually moves. When I got up, I saw a hoe. Yeah, that was my shirt, replied Ho, who was wearing the same shirt that saved his life. I tied my shirt like this onto the end of a fishing rod because there were boats going by and I was screaming and yelling, ain't nobody gonna hear you, bro. You ever see a guy on a deserted island and a helicopter flies over there like, help! If a 747 flies over, you think the guy on the airplane sitting there, hi, stewardess, I'd like a Coke. Wait, I heard someone in the ocean below yell. Pilot, pull up. There's a guy in the ocean screaming. They ain't gonna hear you, bro. I know. You want to yell anyways, but they ain't gonna hear you. Ho was luckily found. Fishing rod that helped him save, so I figured I had to do something. I took off my shirt. I saw it was 20 feet away, but it took me almost 20 minutes to get it. I finally did, and then I tied the shirt to my fishing pole. A corpse found in a lagoon barrel ID'd as a singer. Saw this today. A local rapper from Los Angeles, I believe. The body of a man who was found stuffed inside of a barrel in Malibu Lagoon State Beach has been identified as a local singer, songwriter. I believe he was a rapper. The LA County Medical Examiner identified the 32-year-old Javanto Murphy stuffed in a damn barrel. That's horrible. She's my angel. Look at this little angel. Long Island mourns the dead tot in the SUV. Guys, it is very, very easy. Got a lot going on. I lost $6,000 at an ATM. My mind, whatever. Could you imagine you have your child in a car seat? You're thinking about rent or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever, or hurt my leg at work, whatever you're thinking about. Trump got indicted for the third time. And then you forget your child in the hot car and you run inside your house to watch TV and you're relaxing. You don't think. She didn't do it on purpose. So I learned a trick a while ago that will help that never, ever, ever happen again. It's ingenious, but it could save your child or your grandchild's life. What you're going to do is you're going to take off a shoe. If you're driving, take off a shoe and you will put the shoe next to the baby seat or in the car seat with the child. Then when you pull up, wherever you pull up, you're going to get out and you're not going to walk into your house with one shoe on. You're going to notice that you're missing your shoe and you're going to do everything you can to try to rectify getting your shoe back. And that includes opening the door and seeing that your child is sitting in the car seat. A Long Island mother whose 14-year-old daughter died after her grandmother left her in a hot Jeep for 8 hours. You ever sat in a hot car? It's the worst thing in the world. You literally will cook. A cop was killed while trying to stop a suicide. A rookie South Carolina police officer was fatally struck by an Amtrak train while helping a suicidal person off the tracks. Easley officer Matthew Hare, 32, he died a hero, trying to save another person. On the outskirts city, he patrols 10 miles west of Greenville. Officer Hare died saving the life of someone he did not know. He is a hero. Hare left, who had been on the force for 5 months, and his partner had been searching for the suicidal person for over an hour before the tragedy occurred. Did you see the cop sick the canine on the black man? It's horrific. I believe the cop was fired. So they're chasing a man in a 18-wheeler. The man is on the phone with one of his blinkers was out, or he had a tag out. Something, tail light was broken. 10 cop cars behind him, chasing him. 10 white cop cars. He's on the phone to 911 saying, "I don't feel safe. They're trying to kill me." The operator goes, "Sir, they're not trying to kill me." He goes, "They tried to shoot my tires out. I'm not pulling over right here." So he drove for another 6 or 7 miles till finally, whatever happened, he had to pull over. He got out of the truck. He was like on his knees with his hands up like this. Did everything they asked him to do. And then this piece of shit cop, I support the cops, good cops, piece of shit cops gets his canine, starts walking towards the guy. There's another 8 or 9 cops out there. They've all got their guns out, and the one officer, they're from 3 or 4 different departments because they've gone on for 8 miles. So this department from Susanville and this department from Ready or whatever, they also, this one cop is going, "Do not release that dog. Do not release your dog. Put your dog away. The suspect is complying. Do not release your dog." And you see the cop, "Get him, boy." And the dog, if you've never been bitten by a dog, I was bit on my paper route, is the worst, horrific, horrible pain you'll ever get in your life. The dog grabs you and starts shaking. The dog mauled the black man. It's all caught on tape. If you have the balls to see it, it's everywhere. Newly released body cam of the footage of the Ohio cop releasing his canine dog on a surrendering truck driver shows the now fired officer warning the suspect before commanding the dog to attack, and later asking the colleague, "What did I do wrong?" "I wish that dog would have bit you in the balls, asshole. Sorry." Yeah, well, I think it always did. Circleville. There's a real place called Circleville. I've heard of Circle Jerk, but Circleville I'm not familiar with. Officer Ryan Speakman can be heard yelling at Jardius Rose, 23, multiple times to get on the ground or get bit. A lot of these cops will have, let's say the guy with the dog, he trains for years for the dog and never gets a chance to release it. He's always wondering what'll happen if I do, and he took that opportunity to hurt a man. "Get on the effing ground or I'm going to send the dog," he shouts as he gets out of his car with his dog. He issues another warning and then says, "Final chance, you're going to get bit," as he releases his canine. It took officers over 30 seconds to get Rose out of the grip of the dog, all while the truck driver was desperately pleading for help. Speakman was placed on administrative leave and then fired over the incident. Rose, who was driving with a missing mud flap, that's what he had, a missing mud flap, was on his knees and had his hands up when he was mauled. He was treated for dog bites. What they're not mentioning in here, and if you watch the video, you'll hear the officer in charge saying, "Do not release your dog. Put your dog away. Do not release your, get him, boy." And the guy, oh boy. Are they back? Animated, the Mutant Ninja Turtle flick is a real heartwarming story. There's Donatello, and there's Steve, and Mike, and Jim. I don't got kids. 3.5 stars. It's, I didn't even know they were doing. By the way, they're from New York. They're from New York. This is the shooter. I'm not doing it. Former Auburn football player allegedly targeted by his wife in a murder for hire plot. Guys, listen to me. If you're going to have your husband or wife murdered, do not get in a car and talk about it to a hitman. First of all, don't do it at all. I would not want you to murder your spouse. But if you do, but don't. But if you do, but don't. I thought that was Joe. Look. You see? Joe's got a doppelganger out here, like his twin brother. Every time they bust one of these morons for trying to put a hit on their loved one, they're in a car, and it's some hitman that they met through online or a cousin or something. Hit me like, I'll kill him for you. Tell me exactly, tell me exactly what you want done, Mrs. Johnson, on September 2nd. And then the morons, the car's wired with microphones and everything else. This is no different. Prosecutors withdrew their objections Tuesday to release of Lindsay Shiver, 36, her alleged lover Terrence Bethel, 28, and Farron Newbold, 29, after speaking with their estranged husband. Move over, blue whale. There's a new contender for the most massive animal in Earth's history. Uh-oh. The blue whale is the biggest animal on Earth. I don't know how big they are. They're big. They're way bigger than a bed box. Move over, blue whale. Scientists on Wednesday described a fossil, an early whale unearthed in Peru called the Hercucetus colossus, which lived 38 million years ago. During the Ocean epoch, it was built somewhat like a manatee and may have topped the blue whale, long considered the heftiest animal in recorded history. The researchers estimate that the Hercucetus was 66 feet long and weighed 375 tons. Did you hear about the bloody torture escape? This is an Oregon man. He had this woman an Oregon man was arrested for kidnapping and sexual assaulting a woman who finally managed to escape from his makeshift cinder block cell he had created in his garage. The FBI Portland field office announced Wednesday that agents had captured Nagasi Zubergi, 29, after a sex worker he allegedly abducted beat the cell door with her hands until they were bloody. She wasn't having it. She beat the cell door with her hands until they were bloody. Successfully breaking it open and flagging down a motorist. According to the complaint, the woman was kidnapped, chained, sexually assaulted, raped, locked in a cinder block cell. Officers said Zuberi, who was a suspect in 4 other sexual assaults in other states, traveled to Seattle on July 15th to pick up a prostitute. The victim told investigators she met Zuberi, who posed as an undercover officer, pointed a taser at her before handcuffing her and forcing her into the back of his car. After the woman escaped, Zuberi fled and was tracked down in Reno the following day, where he was taken by police after a 45-minute standoff. I believe the man should be murdered. I believe it. I said it. Sorry, not sorry. Shall we? Shall we proceed? It's time for the worst part of the show. Pisces. I'm only doing 2 today. Pisces. You may not have felt much like taking the lead in recent days, but now as an essential friends and colleagues are looking for you to set an example, and you cannot do that while lurking in the shadows. A high profile is a must. It's not a choice. It ain't no choice, it's a must. It's a must that I busted it might be into me. Libra. Joe, do you know any Libras? It is me. We are good people. Causes always have consequences, and if you keep that fact in mind, you are less likely to act in a way that invites negative responses from people who think you are being heavy-handed. As a Libra, you should be able to see their side of the story. Also, as a Libra, today is a great day to get out and steal stuff from 7-Eleven. That's weird. I don't know why they would put that on there. That sounds crazy. Why don't we do the birthdays? What is today? Today is August 3rd. La 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 la. Famous birthdays. Where's Ambrose? Ambrose, you still doing birthdays? Ambrose, I appreciate you very much. Guys, if you need any info on some of these people, Ambrose has got your back. Tom Brady, 46 years old, finally retired from football. I am a Joe Montana guy. I'm a 49er guy. Joe Montana, the greatest quarterback of all time, not anymore. Tom Brady has to be considered the greatest quarterback of all time. Like him or don't like him, I don't care for him, and I don't care for him out of respect. I hate his guts out of respect of him being a superior, amazing quarterback. Guy's a good quarterback. Now, his wife Giselle Bundchen, whatever her name is, and him got a divorce. He's dating a supermodel, another supermodel. Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett, we just lost him last week. Tony Bennett he's a Leo, but he passed away. His birthday was today, at 26. Singer known for rendition shows, songs like "I Left My Heart in San Francisco," which was certainly his biggest hit, and "Rags to Riches." James Hetfield. Oh, I got birthdays going up. I'm not even seeing them. So if I'm missing some, please let me know. James Hetfield is 60 years old. Now, I was friendly with the group Metallica because one of my best friends was, his cousins were the drummer and bass player in a group called Exodus. Exodus had a guitar player in the group called Kirk Hammett. Kirk Hammett became the guitarist for Metallica. They're Bay Area. They're where I'm from. I'm from where they're from. And they went on to be the biggest heavy metal group of all time. Metallica. He is the co-founder of the Grammy Award-winning heavy metal band Metallica, who was named 8th greatest metal guitarist. Are you listening to this, Rev? I love James Hetfield. He is the backbone of the group as far as rhythm guitar goes. Kirk Hammett is the guitar, the lead player, but I can't imagine that he would be known as the 8th greatest metal guitarist by Joel McKelver, whoever that is, in 2009. He is not. He is a great guitarist, but when you start thinking of all these Angus and Malcolm Youngs and these Matthias Jabs and these get out of here, shut up. All right. Martha Stewart. Did you guys see her when she was on my show, eyeballing me like a... I think I could have got with Martha Stewart. Just me, her, and her billions of dollars. Me, her, and Snoop Dogg. Martha Stewart, she's also a Leo. That's good today's domestic diva, TV personality who built an empire of home-based products. She founded Martha Stewart's Living, Omni Media. She's a billionaire. And she ended up going to prison for insider trading. Her role in the Einclone insider trading affair led to imprisonment in 2004. She managed to bounce back. In prison, she made a lot of potholders. Right there, guys, if you want, I'm not lying, Rev just posted Martha Stewart on my show. She made the cover at the age of 80, made the cover of Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition, and she is a strikingly beautiful woman in person. I was actually a little intimidated by her. I'm just going through the dial here. I don't see Michael Ealy. Watched a great movie with Michael Ealy last night called Fatale. Michael Ealy came to China Club where I was a big shot, and he's in a lot of great movies. It was Michael Ealy, Justin Long, Rachel Dratch, Brooke Shields, about 5 or 6 of them. And Michael Ealy, man, the ladies love this guy. They love him. And Justin Long, who's also a famous actor, was there with him. And Justin Long, some girl that was there going, F you, Justin Law, you piece of shit. Screaming it. I'll never forget it. I was sitting there like, what do I gotta do? Break up this lady from calling this guy names? Famous people also have problems. Isaiah Washington, this guy was huge. Could have had a huge career. Ended up having a meltdown, fighting people on the set. I don't know whatever happened to him. It wasn't good, I know that. I'm just going through the dial here. Brooklyn born, thank you. God bless you. I really appreciate. Stop it. You better stop it. Is it still Tammany Appreciation Day? I believe it is. Tammany, what a heart. I strive to have a kind heart like Tammany. God bless you. Martin Sheen, thank you, Brooklyn. God bless you. Martin Sheen, Marty Marr. Or Martin Sheen is the father of Charlie Sheen, my old boss. Also Emilio Estevez. Their last name is really Estevez. He changed his name to Martin Sheen. He became a big time movie star. Apocalypse Now, not Apocalypse Now. What was the damn movie in the jungle? Oh, Ambrose will know this one. Who gets it first? Charlie Sheen was the actor in the movie Apocalypse Now. I was right. West Wing, The Departed. He was great in that. Anyways, great actor. He was originally named Estevez. You better stop it, Tammany. You're gonna make me cry on air. You better stop it. Children, I don't know. Stop it, Tammany. This is where the show always. I blame Rev. When I got a sidekick who puts the work in, he always had the stuff here, and I got Ambrose there. Without Joe to hold me down, I'm shit. I got a letter today that says, Bob, I used to really enjoy your show when Joe was there, but he's not there anymore. Now your show is shit. Signed, Tammany. So I respect her. I respect her opinion on that. She's right. She's right. After all the reasons why famous deaths, we do not celebrate their deaths. We just talk about people who passed away. Bubba Smith. Wow, big ass Bubba Smith. He was one of those guys I was in awe of. He's a Pisces. Former defensive end who played for the game of the century in Michigan State in 1966, was selected by the Baltimore Colts. He was a big one, Bubba Smith. Lenny Bruce. Many people to this day, many comics to this day consider Lenny Bruce one of the greatest comics of all time. I didn't get him. I've seen his specials, or I've seen his. I never laughed one time. Not for everybody. Certainly, if you were to interview Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, any of those guys, Lenny Bruce is considered one of the all-time greats. Legendary stand-up comedian and social critic. He did social stuff. He was also arrested. This is stuff in the 50s and 60s. Became a countercultural icon after he was repeatedly arrested for obscenity. One time he said the word crap on stage and was almost murdered by the police in Boise, Idaho. Hey girl. Oh shit. Yeah, you couldn't really. And then George Carlin came out with the famous 7 words you couldn't say. He became the first person in New York State history to become posthumously after dead, pardoned by the governor George Pataki, pardoned him for his conviction in 1964 obscenity trial. He was arrested for couldn't say shit and stuff like that on the radio or on stage. He was arrested. I should have quit while I was behind. Colleen Gray. I'm sure Ambrose is putting some stuff up there. I don't see anything here. I don't see anything here. If I was Joe, I'd just blurt out any of these names, but none of these names. Antonio Bricco. You don't know who is Antonio Bricco? I don't. Never heard of him. I want to thank everyone. Don't look at the watch. It's really not important. I don't want you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Again, for those of you who I've not been able to engage with the way I want to, I've been having some health issues. Today was like a nightmare just walking across the street to get here. I am trying, because laying around and going to work and coming home and staying up till 7 in the morning and then sleeping till 10. I sleep about 2 to 3 hours a night. I know a lot of it has to do with my lifestyle. I'm going through depression. I'm having some issues. I am doing my best. I often sit at my house. I start the news at 3. I leave my house at 2:50 because I'm right across, really down the street. And I'll be there at 1 o'clock laying in bed looking at the clock, 1:15, 1:20, 1:30, 1:40. Oh shit, I should get up and take a shower. Ah, screw it. 1:50, 2 o'clock, 2:09, 2:10, 2:20. When it gets around 2:30, I start to panic. Like, oh shit, I should put my socks on. And 9 times out of 10, when you see me, when you turn on and I'm not here, it's because I just couldn't shake it. I did the show one time, like 183 days in a row without missing a show. So it's not about being lazy, it's just about right now I'm going through a lot. I will try to do the show more often. I know a lot of you can give a shit if I do or don't, but I really do enjoy coming and seeing you guys every day, except Brooklyn. It's the only one I don't care about. And Ambrose. Valerie keeps me coming. So does Trina and Tammany. But then I hear RJ's going to be here. And thank you guys. I love you all very much. I notice when I'm tired, I can't do the thing I do. Karina called me last night. She said, Bob, how come you're not doing that thing you do? And I said, am I any good? She said, you're shit. And that really hurt my feelings, Karina. I was like, come on, man, what the hell? Valerie called me and said, I told her what Karina said. She said, Bob, don't listen to Karina. She's a piece of crap. I was like, Valerie, that's not nice. That's not nice. Gina, thank you for dropping by. Treat, God bless you. RJ, I love you. I love you all very much. I put up about 15 videos last night. Rev has been putting up videos. Guys, go in and check out some of the videos. Check out my shorts. And I will talk. Jason Francis is here. No one else, the original's here. Lou is here. Why didn't someone tell me Lou was here today? I would have put on a better shirt. Thank you for tuning in. I love you all very much. Look at that hairline. Guys, I'm 60 years old. I ask you to be kind and loving to each other. I don't just walk about it. I talk about it. I do it. I ask you to do it as well. I'll talk to you tomorrow. God bless you. Thank you. So, Mr. Bot, I see you. God bless you, too. We be buzzings in here. I don't even want to hang up. There's so many people. By the way, I'm going to take this little camera for a spin right here at the table. Take some video. I hope that you guys will check out my channel tonight and see if it's any good. Let's talk again soon. Love you all. God bless you. Except Rev. And RJ.